Hey guys, welcome back to Grim Reaper coming at you for another video for Red Shadows. Hopefully you're doing well, and hopefully you had a great weekend, and hopefully you had some insane luck, and hopefully like I had some pretty insane luck on a couple of viewers' accounts over the weekend. So yeah, good news for them, not so much good news for me because I didn't have that much of good luck on my own account. Anyway, so let's get into today's video. Today's video is a very interesting video for sure. Today's gonna be on Curse City, and we're looking at trying to clear the hard mode on Curse City. So we cleared one of the rooms, which is a very annoying room. I suppose it's probably one of the hardest on this rotation. We're gonna be looking at S14 and the team that I looked at. So I've got all the gear and stuff like that. This was done in stream. I'm gonna go ahead and mute what I'm saying in it, and we're gonna do like a voiceover right now of what I was looking at and what I was doing and stuff like that, because there's a bit of bad language, and I don't want a bad language for terms and conditions. Obviously, it's very frustrating content, and it's not easy content to do, so there is a lot of bad mouthing. But you can go and check it out on my VOD and stuff like that, and my ideas and stuff like that. It did take a couple of hours, but the minute I brought in Akchak, we did it within 5 or 6 goes, which was pretty cool and was much better. So this is the gear that and stuff like that. Anyway, the gear I've already changed, so I can't show the gear right now, but I have all the gear recorded and stuff from stream. So please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help support me as a channel to grow and keep bringing content like this, which I don't generally enjoy so much, but it is good educational content to try and help you guys, and hopefully I make at least some of your guys' lives a little bit easier with this. You don't need empowerment, by the way. I've beat this before without empowerment, and if anything, the empowerment kind of screwed me a little bit on the first wave because I was doing more damage than last rotation. So last rotation I didn't use Atchak, I used 2 Husk, and in this rotation I just kept overhitting on the first wave, and I couldn't get the cooldowns as round as I wanted. So that's something to kind of look at. You want enough damage, but then you don't want too much damage because you want the cooldowns to go back round and stuff like that. So let's go into the run then. This is the run. As you can see, it's a bit longer than this, but I wanted to make it try short as it is, and I will play like the full run after this, and I'll let you guys enjoy a bit of music with that. So we started with the AoE freeze. Now Akchat has a 90% chance to freeze people with the highest attacks, people like Curious, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Just remember with the freeze that you're actually reducing your own damage that they will receive because of how freeze works. So we started off with Akchat coming in the freeze. We've got a stun set here, so she's got AoE on A1. Hellgazer, she also has AoE on the A3 with Allied Protection, which you'll see is quite key throughout the whole run. And then you got Zorgalo in a stun set as well with AoE drop defense, which is pretty nice. You do need the AoE drop defense on the Cubitus, and you want to get rid of the Cubitus straight away because every time you attack them, they'll counter attack you and they will kill you quite quickly, in all fairness. So you also want to keep Elaine CC'd as well, and because she will also kill you. So it's not Lorraine, but it's the starter champions, right? I forgot her name. She will also kill you with AoE freeze. Venus will not be so impactful, and Cubulus again, Cardion not so impactful, but if he does ally attack with everyone non-CC'd, even just AFL, you're pretty much gonna die. So that's what we're kind of working with here. So as you can see here, we got defense down on everyone, and we're waiting for. We want everyone to go before Hexa, because Hexa's basically, I need her to have the good RNG to one-shot both Cubulus to kind of make our life easier, right? And then it's the case of trying to get the cooldowns, but as keeping everyone CC'd as well. So that's one thing we'll try to do. Now you'll see I will do the AoE here in a second. Okay, so we actually do a single hit. Now, normally I do the AoE to bring the damage down a little bit more, so the HP down a bit more, so that my nuker, Hexa, who could basically do a single nuke hit, right? Now, she got an extra turn on the A2 if she kills the enemy. So you can see there we don't actually kill, but ideally we are killing there. So that is basically why you should try and do the AoE. And now you can see it being a bit of a problem. They counterattacked and stuff like that. So then we're going to come through. We actually do the ally protection here. It's cool to do the ally protection. We also have a bolster set here to give us some extra survivability and some healing. Attrack was actually a big improvement here because the freeze was quite clutch. The block boss was quite clutch on the way through. And everything has kind of worked much better. There's AoE nuke there from Husk. Again, him being a pain in my bum. We're going to use A3 and hopefully one-shot him. We do 100k on her there, so you can see Crushing Ram doing its job right, how much defense we ignored. We're going to come in and we're looking around. We're just taking our time. It's good to take your time a little bit to kind of try and understand where you're going to come in. We do the AoE there, which we get the stun off. Cardial just does his ally attack. So it is worth noting, if you can't CC Cardial straight away, he will do the ally attack over the cleanse, which is good thing to know, because if he cleanses off the stuns, you're in trouble. So you don't need to worry about CCing him. So we go for a focus damage dealer, right? And then it's just about trying to keep them CC'd, under controlled, as well as getting cooldowns. Now, Zargallo is probably the most important one to get the cooldowns, because otherwise we won't be able to kill the waves that we want to, or kill the next wave. And there is a particular order which just took me quite a bit of time, that if you guys take a note of, it will make your life a lot easier for that. So you do need to kill him in a certain order. So the first rotation, you want to get rid of the two Qdas straight away, ideally under CC, so they don't counterattack you like the freeze and stuns. Provokes, unfortunately, he'll still counterattack you. Sleep, he'll just wake up. So they're the two CCs that you want to worry about. And then you can see here, he's just the one left. So we're just going to do our thing and just run him down, but also have our cooldowns. You can see here Zargallo's on cooldown, which is pretty cool. So that's one thing to kind of bear in mind. You could use Zargallo as the DPS as well, in all fairness, instead of Hexa, but with the high level blessing on Hexa, Crushing Ram does like a lot. Anyway, we're on the second wave, and pretty much everyone's on cooldown, which is what we want to see. So we want to be one-shotting. We need to one-shot 2-hack here, which is probably the hardest thing to do. And it's probably like all of them have their own threats and their own problems. But we want to one-shot 2-hack. Now, with 2-hack, if you land the defense down, and with the increased attack from Hexa, she can one-shot 2-hack, right? Which is a good thing to kind of know. And if there was like sleep in here for any reason, you're using single base nukers, so you don't need to worry about that as much. And then we want to try and get rid of the AoE block damage, because otherwise you're just going to die. The counter attack is something you want to try and avoid as well. So with act checks, block buffs and strengthen, and with the ally protection, you just don't want to use them, because you don't want to give them any more turn meter, and you don't want to lower your own turn meter. So that's one thing to kind of take into consideration. And how to deal with Valkyries, that's the same, and also in Faction Wars as well. We won't actually freeze many people, but what we will do is land H2 Burn, which will give us some heals from Actrap's passive, which is one thing that I feel that we're missing a lot here, right? So you can see here, we'll get one freeze on probably the most important champion to get a freeze on. Now, AoE stun here doesn't do anything, because all that's going to happen if you don't kill 2-hack is she's just going to cleanse her passive, and then she's just going to bring the whole team back into this, right? So this is why you need the AoE defense ready for right now. Just take that into consideration. So we do get the AoE defense down on everyone. We got a bit of good luck to get that down. We want Hex's A2 ready because this is the big one. You can see there 115k, which is pretty juicy. And then we're going to go for him. So we took out the two big threats of survivability and the cleanse pretty much, and that's why it's so key to do this. And it's a big help for sure. Now, Valkyrie is unfortunately going to get shields up, so you'll see again, I will try and deal with this best as possible, and I do deal with this quite well. I do start buffing up now because I've already put their counter attack up, in all fairness, so it's just one thing that was easy for me to do. Then we're going to try and one-shot her, which we do. We do have defense down on her, which really helps us, and we had increased attack up on us, which is pretty cool. Rehydrate the voice quickly, and then you'll see how we try and deal with these Valkyries, right? Because we really don't want to hit them if they're counterattacked. So we will, I think we do the AoE stun, yeah. So we got the AoE stun on the one Valkyrie. Now we're just going to keep hitting that AoE stun on that Valkyrie, right? We know that her AoE is on cooldown as well, so that's worth pointing out. So now we just basically come in here and do what we can. Now I think we tried to freeze for some reason. I don't know why. I should have just done A1 there. That's just something that we can take on from this. We do the AoE there, which is pretty nice, which is quite effective. And you can see here as well that I would choose to hit the one Valkyrie that doesn't have the counter attack on, and not hit the one that has got the counter attack on. So, and then you can see we land a provoke there, which basically gives me the drive just to keep coming in with this ability. I think we do the A1 or the A2. Okay, we're going to do the A2 here, like so. I want to speed this up, but I don't want to miss anything as well, because you miss one thing, it's kind of key, right? So it doesn't matter if you do the A1 or the A3, like you need the ally protection ready for the next wave as well, because there is quite a bit of damage in here, and we lose a few champions on the last wave, which we'll see in a second. It gets sketchy towards the end. I was a bit nervous as well because we were spending a lot of time on this and taking my time. I'm not trying to care about the speed runs. I just don't want to having to redo this again, right? So you can see I put up ally protection again. I probably could have just done A1 in all fairness. It's just one of them things, right? It's one of them things, like you're under pressure. You're probably a bit worn out because I was a bit frustrated. It can be content that frustrates you a little bit. Especially when you've been at it a few hours. I was at this for about 3 hours before I put act track in because we're double husk, and it just wasn't going anywhere. Probably wasn't 3 hours, but it did feel like 3 hours. So yeah. Anyway, again, trying to get all the cooldowns, which is the most important thing. Get all the cooldowns, which is the key thing for this, right? So we're gonna start obviously with block buffs. There's obviously reasons for that, right? I don't need to say why. Block buffs because of torments. We're gonna try and get the AoE down with some stuns. We don't get it, but we land one stun on Zagala. Hundig somehow gets a go. We must be quite fast. And again, we're gonna try and one-shot Brogni, because Brogni will put shields up and will take more damage for if he hits his shields up. And then Hundig is AoE defense down, and actually could do some damage and cycle through his abilities quite quickly. And then it's basically trying to CC as much as possible, but keep them all cooldown. So this guy here, he started going on one man, and he just started causing problems. So yeah, torments were a little bit of an issue, but there wasn't too crazy of an issue with act check in here. It was just a case of being careful when we put up that ally protection and stuff like that, really. So you can see here, I'm thinking, do I go 1, 2? But there was defense down. I kind of think that's still the right decision to do. I think I tried knocking his turn meter back, if I'm honest. I tried getting a turn meter back on that, so it's one of them ones. And like so. So yeah, we lose our Gala, which is a big bummer, because that's obviously a big thing, and like he's quite not a great legendary. He's only used for certain things. Can be a little bit annoying, but he was very difficult to kind of deal with for this, and I just got like tons and tons of weak hits on top of what I was already doing, which honestly wasn't pretty. So again, you can see here we're putting ally protection up when we've got block buffs, etc. So that's one thing we're trying to do. And then I'll try and get the HP burns down so we can get some heals into the team and some extra turn meter, which can go our way as well. And then Hexa will go down shortly, but she does enough job for me to kind of clear this up. So again, another resist there. It is what it is. This guy was on a different planet, and honestly just like a ton of weak hits, which was really frustrating. They did get to a point where I just had enough to carry me through this in the end, and it was a bit nerve-wracking, but in the end we got there, right? So when this happened, I was like, oh god, that is not great. That's not what we want to see. I know as well that I only had so much time to get this Torment down, or his passive would be on cooldown, wouldn't be on cooldown, right? And his cooldown on his passive is not too long. So we're cracking on with this, and we're gonna try and get Torment down. We get Torment down, and then we just left with the one guy, which basically gets like a ton of resist, ton of everything else, and it just seems like we just didn't have enough accuracy. Even Agtrack had 400 accuracy, and Husk had like over 300 and some accuracy and stuff like that. It just seemed like we didn't have enough, which is what it is. End of the day, I beat the content, all the floor, so one step closer for Carnage. I should get Carnage on Tuesday as well, which would be quite cool for CVC, and I'm obviously looking forward to having another alloy attack. Anyway, guys, I've gone into this long enough. I'm going to leave this a play, and then I'm going to leave all the builds and stuff down below, and I'll put all the timestamps on. This will be a bit of a long video, but hopefully you like this. Please remember to like, comment, we have the builds. Let's show you the builds, etc. So we have Zargala coming in as a +4. Don't need a +4. We do have some bonuses. If anything, it's better not to use as a +4 because one of the problems were killing and then getting a rotation rounds, right? So you only need about 350 accuracy. Don't need so much accuracy. Obviously, you want to be the fastest as well. And then decent attack as well. And then critical damage and critical rate. Fairly nice build. If you want, you can drop that attack and start using that and HP chest, right? To give some more survivability. So let's have a look at the gear then. We got the best of the best on my account. Trust me, I broke a couple of pretty teams for this. Blessing, we don't have one at the moment. For masteries, we're running Fears of Presence, just to go 5% extra chance of stunning the wave, then just damage reductions, then like blast proof and stuff like that. Pretty nice. Cycle of Magic to try get around to A3, which never procced on my account at all, so good luck with that one. You could also try Cycle of Violence as well if you wanted, if you don't want to take Fears of Presence, and that will probably be a little bit more consistent than the Cycle of Magic if you take enough damage stats on her, right? Because you need to do so much damage. I suppose if you got Crush and Rem on her, a lot of people have Crush and Rem, then you definitely could do that for sure. I need to go put her on my wish list. Then we have my Sand Devil Husk, which is a +3 now. Its stats are 88,000, 3,000 defense, 216 speed. So we do have a bit of extra speed actually. So 220 speed. Want everyone basically to go first, and you actually want Husk to go before Hexa, because then you can do reduce the HP of everyone, and then Hexa is more likely to one shot the 2 hack on the second wave, and then to one shot the cubuses on the first wave. You want to basically one shot them to make your life easier, right? We do have a accuracy aura as well of 40, which does help him with his accuracy. I surprised I didn't. You could also go accuracy banner here, which is what I should have done. I think it's because I swapped out the Husk from there, which I forgot he didn't have enough accuracy. Savage is only for the Sand Devil. We don't need Savage for sure. If anything, Sand Devil, the Savage will probably stop you doing so much damage on the first wave. The masteries, then we got Fears of Presence. To be honest, if you wanted to do more damage, or if you're lacking damage, you can obviously take in the. I'm trying to figure out my cameras. You can then just take War Master, right? Sorry, Helm Smasher. If you're struggling for accuracy, Eagle Eye. Again, if you're happy to use like a spare Husk, etc. So you use this in Sand Devil. I'm not going to be changing its blasteries. Harvest Cast is the blessing we got. In all fairness, the best blessing is Crusher Rem for like level 5 and 6. After that, specifically for Curse City, I'm taking Cruelty, right? So Cruelty and Crusher Rem are probably my favorite 2 when it comes to this. I don't think Crusher Rem is that useful for low levels of Crusher Rem. So I just think it's pointless. Like, you ignore 1% defense for every 50 levels, and then every 40 levels, and then every 25. So this is where I think the 5-star is fine, and then obviously a 6-star is pretty OP, if honest. Probably a little bit broken. So that's one thing to kind of do. Anyway, we're finished with Husker's build. Let's show you her build then. We have Merciless. If you don't have Merciless, replace it with Savage. She has got the defense down in E1. I don't build her with accuracy, so I'd recommend for you not to. And I'd just build a full nuke. Go Savage and Cruel, right? She does hit pretty hard. She can be replaced as well. There is epic that can replace her. Generally I used her because of the 5-star blessing, right? So we've got 7,000 attack, 200 defense. She does bring attack up on herself, so it's best to open with A2. And then we have 318 critical damage, and then the resistance is just a mistake, to be honest. It does not need it. So you got attack, obviously, critical damage, attack ring, and then critical damage, attack, and speed. So you want it to be the slowest as well. Then for the blessings, sorry, for the masteries, we've got retribution, like as traditional, and then obviously Heart of Glory to give us extra damage. Then Will of Speed, which you have to be careful of speed tune. You want to make sure she doesn't overlap your husk. Cycle of Violence to get through her abilities faster, and then Hound Smasher as well. Pretty solid champion, on all honesty. Hits fairly hard. So here's the 3. Then we've got Akchak, which we brought in. We was trying to run double husk like last time, but it didn't work because it was just doing too much damage. So we actually changed her out, right? So we got accuracy banner here, and then 2 refresh items, which is going to help you a lot. Akchak does have block boss, which will help you put ally protection on as well. So we got defense here, HP and HP, and then speed, etc. And again, you're focusing on just the right ability stats. She will freeze the husk as like 80%, 90% chance once booked. Again, we're gonna bring in the blessings, sorry, the great all. Again, 350 accuracy is fine. So we could drop this down with accuracy or at about 310, 300, you'd be fine. Speed, we're made of the fastest, good defense, good HP. In all honesty, this is a waste of masteries, so I probably wouldn't take this if I'm honest. Then we go ahead and load up Raidbro, and I'll show you what I would take. So, Raidbro, perfect website for this. I would just come in with Soul ability, damage reduction, possibly delay death as well, and then Phase of Presence for the freeze. You could put her in stun set as well if you wanted to. And then I would probably come in with extra accuracy, in all fairness, Cycle of Violence, Hexa, which would sustain the HE burns. It works for the heal, right, for the passive ability. And then Lasting Gifts to extend the block buffs and strengthening, which will help you for swipe ability. Then I suppose here you could take, this one might be okay. Heal this champion for every time an enemy heals. I don't think there's any healers off the top of my head other than 2-hack, which you'll want a one-shot, so this won't work. You want a one-shot 2-hack, right? And then, so I'll take extra 10 meter here. Generally, I think that'd be the extra one. She puts buffs up on herself and stuff like that, and you want her to cycle through fast as possible. So these are the best masteries for her, in my opinion. Then, obviously, for me, I did have Blood Shield on her before. I should actually put Blood Shield on this time, maybe, just to get some extra healing, just for her. This girl here is basically really strong, right? I can't wait to empower her to +4. And the higher you can empower, the higher blessings you can get, the better for her and the easiest this room would get, because you can take a bigger bank, right? So again, tap down, you've got ally protection, shields, and then tap down here. So you've got 2 AoEs, perfect for stun set, right? You could put her in bolster as well, but with the AoE on E1, I'm going stun all day. So masteries then. Masteries again, could do a little bit of a rework, but Cycle of Magic, Floor Steel, accuracy down here, damage reduction down here, Fears of Presence, Retribution, you know, it'd be pretty solid. If I'm honest, I'd probably get rid of Cycle of Magic, and I would actually take Deterrence. Especially against the Torments on the 3rd wave. I think this would be a solid with the AoE on A1 and try stun. So I would change that, but Mr. Grim, oh, I thought I had to pay 150 gems, so Maybe I'll change it up next time when we face this room. And that's about it.